Hi, this is Kurt from the Ripping Burnouts YouTube channel. I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a Hot Rod Power Tour 2023 update. Some tips, some things to know, things I've learned over the last few years of doing it. As you can see in this first clip here, this is the parking lot outside. We were early, and by the time we got there, the place was just packed. So one thing that you should remember to do is if you're doing the long haul and you're getting there on the first day, you want to be there early so you don't have to wait in line all day long just to try and get into the actual venue. It's a heck of a lot more fun doing some of the activities and talking to other people than it is standing in line waiting just to get your tickets. A little bit about everything that's in the parking lot. There's a Tonka toy made out of a bread truck, but this is the line waiting to get in. And yeah, we got there early enough that we were able to do some autocrossing. Had a great time. It was hot though. By the time we got out of the car from doing this, well, the camera fell off the windshield for one, and by the time we were done, our heads were just cooked from being in the helmets for 5 minutes in the sun. So yeah, it was almost 100 degrees that day. But basically what the Power Tour is a rolling car show. We're going to 5 cities in 5 days. It used to be 7. It's a little bit better, actually, I think, that it's 5 now, because then you get the weekend to get there and the weekend to get home. But basically, it's a drive across the country and whatever you want to drive and go to the venues and have a great time. Whether you want to just show up and look at the cars or you want to actually do the road courses and the drag racing, it's entirely up to you. The way I look at it is Power Tour tells me where I'm going on vacation, and I figure out what's in the area and where I'm going to stay. And we have a great time doing it. Get to see a lot of the same people that do it every year, and it's always a blast. Obviously, if you don't like sitting in line in traffic, it might not be the most enjoyable experience for you, because all of these cars have to go to the same place. It usually causes some traffic jams, but it's usually just a wonderful time. Always rains at least once, it seems, but last year was just hot. We got wet once, but it was hot the entire time. So, but it was my daughter's first year. This will be her second, and we're planning on making the most out of our trip. Just like we got to go to the beaches in Florida, we're actually planning to stay at Myrtle Beach halfway through the tour, just because we want to go see the ocean, and we're close enough for a couple extra hours of driving. We're actually going to spend 2 days at Myrtle Beach and still make all 5 venues. Last year and this year, we actually finished up after we went to Atlanta. We drove up to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and spent the weekend there. And we plan to do the same thing after Bristol. And of course, when you go through the tunnel, you have to rev it up going into Atlanta. But this was the final day at the venues, and then this is where we went into the Smoky Mountain Reserve. And I just love this area of the country. It's great scenery. It was actually freezing by the time we got to the top. She took a blanket. I didn't have any warm clothes because we were obviously just in the ocean 2 days before this. But it's a beautiful day. We hung out in the stream, decided to see who could stack rocks the highest. I think we kind of tied. Then downtown Gatlinburg is filled with moonshine tasting, whiskey tasting, and then this guy decided to show up and give us a little show. We were looking for him in the woods all weekend long, and we just had to go back to our hotel, and he showed up on the last day right before we left. But thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and this should be a great year too.